Mohamed Salah. Imagine a night so transformative that it reshaped not only a young man's destiny, but also the course of an entire footballing legacy. If you believe in the power of perseverance and the strength to overcome any setback, hit that like button and subscribe now. Because today we're diving deep into the emotional and inspiring story of Mohamed Salah's powerful comeback. A journey where one unforgettable night sparked an unyielding spirit that would propel him to greatness. From his early days in Nagreg, a small village in Egypt, Salah's love for football was forged in the heat of dusty fields and humble beginnings. As a young boy, he would play barefoot on uneven terrain, his heart set on dreams far greater than the modest surroundings could contain. In a town where opportunities were scarce, every goal he scored was a small victory against the odds. His family, though not wealthy by any measure, was rich in support and encouragement. His father, a man who worked tirelessly to provide for his family, would often remind young Mohamed that the greatest victories are born of the toughest struggles. His mother, whose gentle smile and endless sacrifices provided him the strength to push forward, instilled in him the belief that with hard work and determination, nothing was impossible. Even at that early age, it was clear that Salah was different. Neighbors recalled watching him sprint down narrow alleys, his movements fluid and determined, as if every step was a step toward a brighter future. In school, while other children played simple games, he would often be found mimicking his heroes on television, practicing his dribbling with a single, tattered ball. That raw passion soon caught the attention of local coaches, and it wasn't long before his talent was recognized beyond his village. With every kick, every sprint, he was writing the first lines of a story that would eventually inspire millions around the world. His journey led him to the local youth teams where the fundamentals of the game were honed, and the early lessons of discipline and hard work were drilled into him. It was in these formative years that Salah learned that football wasn't just a game, it was a way of life. Every training session, regardless of the heat or the cold, was an opportunity to improve, to dream, and to push himself further. His coaches marveled at his speed and his technical ability, but it was his attitude, his willingness to give everything, even when the odds were stacked against him, that set him apart from his peers. In those early days, every small success was a promise of things to come, a promise that he would one day rise above his circumstances. As his reputation grew locally, Mohamed Salah's talent began to attract attention from clubs beyond Egypt. His first major step into professional football came when he joined a modest local team that competed in the Egyptian leagues. It was here, amid the roar of passionate local fans and the intensity of competitive matches, that Salah started to truly understand what it meant to play at a higher level. With every match, his natural flair for goal scoring and his incredible work ethic shone through, drawing comparisons to the legends of the game. But success on the local stage was only the beginning. His performances became a beacon of hope for a community that saw in him a future filled with possibilities. The next big leap in his career came with a move to FC Basel in Switzerland, a club known for nurturing young talent and preparing them for the rigors of European football. Leaving behind the familiar sights and sounds of Egypt, Salah found himself in a cold, unfamiliar land where everything was different. The stadiums were larger, the training grounds more advanced, and the level of competition exponentially higher. At Basel, he faced a world where every minute on the pitch was scrutinized, where every mistake was magnified, and where the margin for error was razor thin. Yet despite these challenges, he adapted quickly. With a relentless determination and an unyielding desire to prove himself, Salah transformed each setback into a learning experience. Every missed pass and every defensive lapse became a lesson that sharpened his skills and steeled his resolve. In Basel, he began to learn not only the technical and tactical aspects of the game, but also the mental strength required to succeed in Europe. Coaches and teammates alike recognized that beyond his physical attributes, there was something deeper in Mohamed, a burning desire to overcome adversity and to emerge stronger from every challenge. His time at Basel was a crucible in which his character was tested and refined. It was here that he experienced both the sweetness of victory and the bitter taste of defeat, and in each instance, he emerged more determined. The lessons he learned in those early years abroad would later serve as the foundation for one of the most powerful comebacks in modern football history. Yet for all the promise and potential, Salah's journey was not without its setbacks. His move to Chelsea in the Premier League, seen by many as the next step in his burgeoning career, turned out to be a period of intense struggle and frustration. At Chelsea, the expectations were sky high, and the style of play was vastly different from what he had grown accustomed to. Despite his undeniable talent, he found himself on the fringes, unable to break into the first team. The pressure of playing in one of the world's most competitive leagues, combined with the criticism from fans and media alike, began to take its toll. Every mistake was dissected, every poor performance replayed endlessly on television, and the weight of expectations became almost unbearable. It was a period marked by self-doubt, where the bright future he had once envisioned seemed to flicker under the harsh glare of scrutiny. During this challenging period, Salah's confidence wavered. There were long, lonely nights when the young forward questioned whether he truly belonged on the biggest stages of football. The critics were relentless, suggesting that perhaps he was not ready for the demands of the elite level. In those moments of despair when it seemed that all his hard work might be in vain, something inside him stirred, a spark that would eventually light the way to a remarkable comeback. That defining night, the one that would mark the turning point in his career, came after a particularly tough day of training and criticism. Alone in a quiet moment, far from the prying eyes of the media and the expectations of the world, Mohamed Salah sat on the cold bench of an empty stadium. The echoes of past failures, the weight of harsh words, and the frustration of unfulfilled potential all swirled around him. But in that silence, a powerful resolve began to build. A resolve to fight back, to push harder than ever before, and to prove to himself that he was more than the sum of his setbacks. That night, as the stadium lights dimmed and the world outside slumbered, Salah made a choice. Instead of succumbing to the despair that had threatened to engulf him, he decided to channel that pain into action. He returned to the training ground with a renewed sense of purpose. Every drill became an opportunity to perfect his technique, every sprint a testament to his determination. He worked tirelessly, focusing on the aspects of his game that needed improvement: his positioning, his finishing, and his decision-making under pressure. Slowly, the doubts began to fade, replaced by a burning desire to succeed. In the solitude of those early morning sessions, he discovered a wellspring of inner strength, a resolve that would come to define his future. This transformative night marked the beginning of a powerful comeback. Following that emotional turning point, Salah's fortunes began to shift dramatically. The move to AS Roma in Italy provided him with the fresh start he so desperately needed, a club that valued his raw talent and allowed him the freedom to express himself on the pitch. In Rome, he was given a platform to rediscover his love for the game, to play with joy and creativity, and to rebuild his confidence. The coaching staff recognized that the young forward had undergone a significant mental transformation and gave him the space to flourish. With every match, his performances grew more assured. He started scoring crucial goals and providing assists that were the catalyst for many victories. His pace, his skillful dribbles, and his clinical finishing became the talk of the league. In Italy, he wasn't just a player trying to prove himself. He was a man on a mission to overcome every obstacle that had once threatened to derail his dreams. But the true test of his resurgence came when he made the move to Liverpool FC, a club steeped in history, with a legacy of dramatic comebacks and unforgettable triumphs. At Anfield, under the intense scrutiny of the Premier League and the eyes of millions around the world, Salah's transformation was put on full display. In his first season at Liverpool, he showcased an unyielding spirit that captivated fans and silenced critics. His goals were not only breathtaking in their execution, but they also carried an emotional weight, a reminder of the challenges he had faced and the incredible journey he had undertaken to get there. Every time he sprinted down the wing or curled a shot into the top corner of the net, he was not just scoring for himself. He was scoring for every person who had ever been told they weren't good enough, for every underdog who dared to dream. There were matches when the pressure was almost unbearable, games where Liverpool's fate hung in the balance, and every pass and shot was magnified by the weight of expectation. In those moments, Salah's composure shone through. His ability to remain calm under fire, To trust in the countless hours of hard work he had invested during that defining night of solitude was a lesson to everyone watching. One such match, a high-stakes encounter in the Champions League, became a turning point not just for the team, but for Salah himself. With the score level and the clock ticking down in a game that could define Liverpool's season, Salah received the ball in a critical area. In one fluid motion, combining his lightning-fast pace with the precision he had honed in the quiet hours of training, he unleashed a shot that sealed the victory. The stadium erupted into a roar of disbelief and joy, a moment that encapsulated everything he had fought for. In that single act, he transformed not only his own destiny, but also that of his team, igniting a fire that would propel Liverpool to new heights. The impact of Mohamed Salah's comeback reverberated far beyond the pitch. His transformation from a player battered by setbacks into a beacon of resilience and hope became a source of inspiration for fans and aspiring athletes worldwide. In interviews, Salah has often spoken about the struggles he faced during those trying times, the self-doubt, the relentless criticism, and the crushing pressure of high expectations. Yet he also speaks of the profound lessons he learned, that every failure is a stepping stone, that the darkest moments can illuminate the path to greatness, and that true strength is forged in the fire of adversity. There were nights when I felt completely lost, he once shared in a heartfelt interview, his eyes reflecting the weight of his journey. But in that loneliness, I discovered my true self. I learned that no setback is final if you have the courage to rise again. His journey has since become a living testament to the power of perseverance. Salah's work ethic, his unyielding belief in his own abilities, and his willingness to embrace every challenge have not only redefined his career, but have also set a new standard for what it means to be a champion. At Liverpool, his leadership on and off the field has inspired his teammates to push beyond their limits, creating a culture of resilience that has become the cornerstone of the club's recent successes. His story is one of transformation, a narrative that proves that setbacks, no matter how severe, can become the very foundation upon which future success is built. For young athletes across the globe, Mohamed Salah's comeback is more than just a tale of footballing brilliance. It is a call to action. It is a reminder that no matter how many obstacles you face, no matter how dark the night may seem, the spark of hope can ignite a fire that transforms your life. His journey teaches us that every challenge is an opportunity to rise, that every moment of failure is a lesson in resilience, and that the true measure of greatness lies in the courage to keep moving forward despite the odds. It's a message that resonates deeply, inspiring those who dare to dream that no matter how daunting the road may be, persistence and self-belief will always light the way. As we reflect on Mohamed Salah's powerful comeback, a journey marked by heartache, struggle, and an unyielding determination to succeed, let it serve as a beacon of inspiration for us all. Whether you're facing setbacks in your career, grappling with personal challenges, or simply trying to find the strength to pursue your dreams, remember that the defining moments often come when you least expect them. It's in those solitary hours, when the world is quiet and the pressures of expectation have faded away, that true strength is revealed. Salah's story is proof that even when the odds seem insurmountable, one night, one decision can change everything. Thank you for joining me on this emotional and inspiring journey through Mohamed Salah's comeback.